Afternoon YouTube. So this video, it's the video I never wanted to make, and it's right now it burns me to make it. It's so frustrating, and it's eating me alive having to do a video like this. But basically what's ended up happening is the operation's been cancelled. Now I should be there right now, should have had it done by 8:30, and as I said, this is again it's all in continuation. So you saw me post a video up yesterday talking about going into hospital. Well, today is the day, so to speak. Got there for 7:30, signed in, had a chat with a nurse, did all the millions of questions, did that. Surgeon come up and he said to me, have you had the bowel prep? And this is where it went wrong. Now I'm going to explain how I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I don't know anything about medicine, but with having a colonoscopy, I knew for them to do any work on the bowel, it's got to be prepared, it's got to be empty. Basically they give you this stuff that just clears you out. It's like laxative, but like super strength. And when I had my letter from the consultant booking my hospital appointment, it made no mention of that. It just said not to eat anything after 2:30. And I thought that was a bit suspicious. I thought, this is a bit, but I'm not a doctor. It's not my job as a patient to chase things up, but I did. So I rung up the ward that I was going to be staying on, because I haven't got a direct number. The ward said no, said follow the instructions on the letter. I says to him, and he says no, you shouldn't need it. I spoke to the secretary, but I couldn't get his secretary, so he spoke to another one, and she asked what procedure was going to have, what I was having, and I told her, and she says no, you shouldn't have it for that, you shouldn't need to have it. I even rung my own doctor and asked them, because I was a bit, I'm not a doctor, but I'm thinking to myself. So basically what ended up happening was he asked if I've had the bowel prepare. I says no, there was no instruction for it. And he looked very surprised, and he says he should have included it. I says no. And we both knew, and there was no point trying to fight it. We both knew that this was a massive fucking balls up. And I just says, fucked, aren't we? He says, yeah. He says, I can't do the op. And I can't jump the gun and go straight into kicking off. I didn't kick off, but I can't jump the gun. So I did say to him about, I showed him the letter, and he just shook his head. And he said, I told him, and I said, look, even when I went for the pre-op, the woman just said, you're down for a hernia repair. I says, no, it's stoma reversal and hernias. And she said, oh, it's a bit unusual. And he did say to me, he says, because he went back and forth a couple of times, and he basically come back and he says, look, there's been just a catalogue of errors here. He says, everybody should have done the job, but we all haven't. We've all dropped a bollock here. They've all fucked up. The woman who did the pre-op, I told her, he says she should have flagged it up on the system. He says all the people you've rung should have told you, because it's a common thing. He says anything with the bowel needs to be prepared. He said it should have all been forwarded. He says, the people who boot the op, he says there's a chain work, there's a, because when they boot the op tells the computer tells them to do this and this. He needs this treatment, he needs this type of surgery, he needs this type of medicine, this type of care. None of that's happened. So what he did do is he went back and forth a few times, and he said, what we can do is we can get the, see, I've even got the fucking tag on still. What we can do is we can get the hernia done on this side. That's the one that's giving me the problem. He says, look, we can reverse that, fix that, and then get you back at another point in time to do the vein reversal. I'm thinking to myself, well, it's not ideal. It basically means another year with a bag. You know, the whole point of doing all this was to get rid of that. So, you know, that's the best. He says the option is have the hernia done, and then we have to do another op to do the reversal, or, you know, keep the bag and keep eating, and, you know, and then just wait till we can do it all at once. But I don't know when that'll be. It could be the middle of the year, it could be next, you know, end of the year. So, well, it's next year now. And I said, Luke, I says, I'm already here, shall we get the hernia done, and then at least I've got the quality, you know, I'm able to lead my quality of life without it, because it's only the hernia that causes it. But he did say to me that with having the stoma, that's what causes the weakness, and that's what causes hernias. So I could have it reversed, I could have the hernia stapled, whatever, and another one could form because of there's a hole in the lining. That's how it happens. So, but it's the best, it was the best thing I could do at that time. And then he come back and he says, Luke, I've been thinking about it, I've been talking, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, because, and he come back and he says, Luke, I've had a talk with another surgeon, and we've both decided it wouldn't be in your best interest, because if you do the op and there's complications, it could end up meaning that you could be off for longer, or it could be more. He says it's going to be better to do it all at once. So he has rebooked it for me. He's booked it, I think it's the 22nd of January, so that's like 2.5 months away. So he's booked it for then, and he's gonna, you know, that's what we're shooting for at the moment. Now, I know, you know, people, the comments have been so nice, and I bet even my customers, they've been all, you know, so supportive. And the thing is, this video isn't a blame game. I'm not blaming anybody. What I'm doing is I am going to speak to that pals. I am going to speak to them and just basically make sure, I want to know what went wrong, and I want to see if they can possibly do anything. Now, the surgeon did say that if there's a possibility of getting me in earlier, like, you know, like looking at stuff if he can get me in, but he says it's unlikely, but it's a possibility. He says even a cancellation won't help you, because you need to prepare for it, you know. And I know this. I know that I can't have one the morning off, because I need 2 days to prepare. I've been through it before. It's not nice, but it's doable. So I know what goes in, and it's just, I don't like ranting, I don't like moaning. I am so utterly wound up at this point in time. I don't like talking about my emotion. I try and keep it out, but it's been 2 years to this point. It's been all this prep, getting the business shut down. It's, you know, getting the customers all done and dusted. I've told every customer, you know, what the plan is. I've made sure the work's been done. You know, even my container, it's like, I've done a friend of mine, he's got some stuff, you know, he's got to move, he's doing his container up, so he's put stuff in my container to fucking, so he can do his container up, because he knows my container is going to be empty, it's going to be not used for a couple of months, because, well, a month or two, because I'm going to be in hospital. So even my fucking container's full of shit. So I'm at a point now where even if I wanted to work, I've got to sort that out. It'll be done, don't worry. So I don't want to talk, you know, I don't want, as I said, it's so frustrating. I'm going to speak to Pal, I'm going to have a word with him and just basically tell him what's happened. And it's not necessarily to get heads rolling, because with the NHS it isn't going to happen, is it? They're just going to say, all right, we do tell you it could be cancelled, whatever. But hopefully it gives them a little bit of a push, maybe, to get me in earlier. I don't know. So we can't stew on it. This will be the last time you'll hear me moaning about it properly. I've had me moan now. It's, as I said, it's, you know, I don't like talking about emotion, but, you know, it's, I've given so much up. I've, you know, should be at this competition, you know, I've cancelled that. I should be in Edinburgh, cancelled that. The amount of work, you know, cancelled that. You know, well, moved it or done it earlier, you know, so I have this time off. That's it. we need to pull our pants up and get on with it. So what is the plan now? The plan is, hopefully it's done on the 22nd, so that's what my date's working towards now. Now, admittedly, there's not a great deal to be doing at the moment. Work is sort of come to the end for most people. The ground's so wet, everything's just so wet that even gardening at this point in time for regulars is not probably going to be achievable at this point in time. For some of them, or even most of them. Now, I know I've got a rough idea in my head on what work I can do and what work I can get done. I can get some booked in for January and some booked in for December. So I have got a little bit of something I can do. So what the plan is now is I'm going to get the newspaper back in the paper, my advert, and I'm just going to be balls to the wall hustling now, just trying to drum up work. I think actually I am going to use this time to basically go away. I'm going to see if I can still go to this comp, see if I can still get this sorted, but it's going to be, you know, balls to the wall, get everything sorted, have some time to myself. I need it now. As I said, it's drained me a lot, all this process has. So I'm going to have a lot of time to myself, but I want to try and hopefully drum up, because at the moment I've got 2.5 months till January, and as much as I didn't mind having two months till, you know, watching Tom and Jerry while I was recovering, I'm still going to end up with that time. So the time span for me, right, if it's done on January the 22nd, the recovery time's 4 to 6 weeks. Last time it was about 8 weeks, but this time round there's no infection. I shouldn't have to go, well, last time I was in intensive care, hopefully I don't need that, but last time it was about 8 weeks. This time round he said it should be about 4 to 6 weeks. He says 4 weeks time after you leave hospital, by the way. You know, you should be back, you should be able to start doing stuff, light stuff. So we'll have to see, and that's the frustrating thing, because if there's complications, it's bollocksing up the start of the season. It's dragging it out further and further and further. So we'll get it done. My plan is to, you know, try and drum up work from now until then, but also enjoy myself, get back on track, get, you know, everything sorted. I want to get my mind sorted, well, not my mind, but, you know, tick both boxes, mental health, physical health, get that sorted, because I've got the time now. You know, try and drum up work, see it as a challenge, see if I, you know, drum up nothing from Summit, because that's it at the moment. I haven't got much work booked in at all. So, you know, maybe this is a new challenge, try and drum up work over these winter months, see how much work I can get, you know, get new work, you know, in this next couple of months. I'll be ringing around my customers, patting bushes. We'll see what we can get done. That's all I can do at this point in time. It's all I can do. We'll see what we can get done. So yeah, as I said, get that sorted and then have the operation. Oh, I'm not counting on it, but there's a possibility, but I'm not counting on it, and it won't probably happen, but it's in my favour that if the earlier I can get it done, then I can basically crack on sooner, you know, because January and February, especially February, that's been my poorest month. Well, last year it was my poorest, and the year before it was my poorest. So if I miss that, I miss that. So we're still in the right range. We're still not, you know, we're not out the woods, but we're still in it. Earlier the better, but at the moment it is what it is. Like I said before, previous videos, thank you for the comments. It's just a case of just keep plodding on and seeing how we go on. So again, thank you for watching. Have a good day, guys.